Good evening, everyone. This is the Facebook group presentation, and I am Ugochukwu Lichiamaka. I'll be doing this presentation in behalf of my group. This training has been very insightful and educative, so I would like to share a number of things that we've learned concerning the intricacies of Facebook, basically, with everyone. Facebook has roughly 2.06 billion active users worldwide, making it one of the most extensive marketing databases in the world. Now, as with every other social media channel through which one can run a business or promote a brand, basically, the first step for gaining success using the Facebook platform is setting objectives. If objectives are well set, it gives a sort of compass towards doing every other thing that has to be done to ensure the success of the project that has been undertaken. Objectives can be set on a number of things. It could be on brand awareness, it could be on reaching people with a certain message or information, it could be generating traffic concerning a particular thing, it could be engagement, it could be app installations, it could be for video views, leads generations, it could be for conversions. Conversions are usually the final goals. Aside from whatever you do on social media, there has to be something you want people to do, an action you want them to take. For instance, I like to use the current trend EndSARS as a point of instance. You find out that the amount of awareness and traffic that's been gotten for the EndSARS campaign has been pretty commendable just within a few days, and most of everything that has happened concerning this campaign has happened online, Facebook being one of its major channels. And that's basically what the 3am ministry is about generating traffic, about doing lead generation, about making our brand popular. And what is that brand? Jesus Christ. Taking the gospel to everywhere that it hasn't gotten to yet. Social media is the modern school of Tyrannus, where ancient Ephesians gathered to engage with new ideas, pass time, share thoughts, and participate in discussions. Paul thought and spoke at this school after being kicked out of the synagogue. If you read Acts 19:8-9, essentially getting the gospel to go viral in his day. With the COVID-19 era making online worship a norm, and the already existing era of worship by convenience, getting people to go to church physically might not work as much as we want it to, but then we can do more. Bible says, forget not the assembly of the brethren, more so when you see the time drawing closer. Social media has become platforms for these assemblies that the Bible talked about. But the major way to reach goals and set objectives include post scheduling. You can do that using a content calendar and content strategy based on your brand identity. Have a target audience. Always have that. You can even be running multiple campaigns to reach different target audiences based on their peculiarities. You could have different data types. Every social media platform have their own data type that is specific to them. Instagram doesn't deal with too much stories. I mean, long write-ups. Instagram is basically a video and photo place. Twitter doesn't deal with long write-ups either. Twitter is more of a hashtag place. Facebook, on the other hand, Facebook is more dynamic, more flexible. You can do videos, you can do your long write-ups, you can do your picture posts. The major thing is make it catchy, eye-catching, make it interesting, make it something that your audience would always want to look forward to at every point. Now, talking about content is the soul of social media. Without content, social media would not even exist, basically. Now, your content has to tell a story. Your content has to share your ideas, the idea that you want to project. That's basically what content has to do. And then this content can come in varying ways, in videos, posts, that's written posts, pictures. And the thing about content is content can be dynamically recycled. The rule of 7 says a person has to come across a certain message at least 7 times before taking desired action. How does the person come across this message? Through content. If the content is boring and the person comes across it 7 times, the person will still not take the desired action. Therefore, content has to be interesting, as I said earlier. Something that was pretty done in a long write-up, that did not make as much impact as it can, if paraphrased into say infographics, that's infographics in form of a picture, or say a picture quote, it could leave more impression. If it doesn't leave an impression in that form, it could leave more impression as a video. Same content, different medium of presentation, different effects. All of these are basically ways towards through which objectives and goals can be achieved. The 20/80 rule says 20% call to actions, 80% engagement. It is content that engages an audience, whether prospective or already following. Whether the people you are trying to reach are following you already or they are your prospects, it is through content you engage them. Because if you do not engage even the ones that are already following you, you find that you might lose that audience gradually or rapidly. The loss could happen in whatever way. So content repackaging is definitely essential. Audience grouping, as I said earlier, you need to have a target audience. It helps you to pass your message across, create content that is specific to according to their peculiarities. Now, as regards ads, most times when we have a Facebook page, we are always tempted to use the boost option to promote our brand, to push forward our message. The boost button is usually not very cost effective because of how linear the productivity is. The option range is really not something really explorable as compared to when you're using a Facebook ads manager or your Facebook pixels. The Facebook pixels is more like a hypertext markup language that is attaching a sort of tracking language to your Facebook page, tracking in that tracking in that it is able to get specific demographics for your audience base. Demographics in terms of interests, locations, age, basically the major demographics with which you can use to group these audiences that will in turn help your content creation, content management, and basically help you to be more productive in your campaigns. Because when you're able to streamline your audiences to different groups, you're better able to tailor the contents that you push out based on these audience groups, and you find out that you're more productive rather than when you just send out general content to a large ungrouped audience. The reach tends to be lesser and tends to be not as impactful as it is when you are dealing with audience groups specifically. The Facebook Ads Manager offers more than 17 marketing objectives that are not available on the boosting interface. Now, as I said, sending out general content is not very useful because you just end up getting vanity metrics basically through your boost button. You just get possibly number of general likes, and the thing is, when you're working with Facebook, personally I fall short in that respect. You see that people just swipe through their timelines, see posts by people that they know or that they like, even without reading the post or knowing what is contained in the post, like randomly and continue their surf of Facebook. So you find out that even with that kind of like, Facebook is still recording it as a click. Whether or not the impact you desire was achieved, Facebook has recorded it based on your boost. It will tell you, okay, number of people reached is, but last if you check, those people were not really reached. That's the problem with the boost button. You don't really have, it will not exactly increase your bottom line conversion rate. Facebook Pixel is similar to Google Analytics. As I said, all the groupings is just for more effectiveness and efficiency. And then you also have placement options for this content. Once you've been able to group your audiences, placement options also include newsfeed, in-stream videos, right column, selected suggested videos, and messenger, home, or sponsored messages. Most people don't know that where you place your message is also key as what is contained in the message. If the quality of your message is superb and the quantity with which that's following the rule of 7, the quantity, the number of times you push your content out is superb. If you don't place your content right, it might not reach as much people as you want, or it might not reach the right people. As I said, placements include newsfeed. Most times when you are going through Facebook, you see that there are suggested pages. For instance, I got to know about the 3 a.m. through my Facebook newsfeed. And then I saw it was about the church. And then I got interested. And then I had to check the website out. So you see, that is just a very clear example of how to reach people using Facebook. And then from getting to the website, I was able to follow a call to action that says I should sign up. And that's the conversion rate, if you ask me. That's a conversion, rather, if you ask me. Because basically the ad was supposed to get people to the website and then get people to sign up for the courses. So then all of these things just make Facebook give you that database that is really wide reaching. In fact, there's something yet to be added, that is about to be added to the Facebook reach, that is about to exclude audience network members. It's still about the streamlining the audience groups, so you can exclude the ones that you don't want to see a particular message, and then you just streamline to the particular people you want to reach. Facebook campaigns, as with every other social media campaign, should be specific. Doing a campaign that has a lot of things in it. Now, I'm not just the problem now is not that you're targeting a general audience. The problem is that your message is too general. Generic campaigns don't pay off much. But when a campaign is specific, for instance, you want to increase traffic, or you want to do brand awareness, let your campaign, the content, the everything, the placement, let it be geared at increasing that brand that you want, promoting that brand that you want to promote. This is important because there's this concept in social media marketing that's called funnel building. It has a number of steps that if you're not able to cover all those steps, true success cannot exactly be measured. The first step is to attract people. The second step is to get them interested. The third step is to get them engaged. Somebody can be interested and not get engaged in what you're talking about. The fourth step is now get them to respond to your calls to action, or to convert them to your following audience. That's from prospective to following. So we have the attraction, the interest, the engagement, and then you have the conversion. Although this funnel might have different names, but they are all saying the same thing. So if these steps are not achieved, true success cannot exactly be said to have been achieved. Engagement is very important. As we said earlier, engagement is just really key in dealing with social media. As I said earlier too, social media is a place where virtually these days people live on social media. Virtually people meet on social media because social media meets the needs of people. And what are those basic needs? The need to connect and share. People always want to connect with other people, one way or the other, and they always want to share. It's either they're sharing their ideas or they're sharing their thoughts. No man is an island. So many people do this connect and share for different purposes. It could be a selfish purpose, it could be, but for 3am we know that we are doing it for a greater cause, a greater good, which is to ensure that the gospel gets everywhere, that the gospel goes viral. So there are a number of things that can be done using Facebook. Those things, of course, need to be promoted. When we are talking about ads, we are not just doing ads for brand awareness. Most times, people think social media marketing just has to deal with brand awareness. No. A call to action could be the call to get people involved in sponsoring a mission project, or signing up to even go for this mission project. It could be donating to an orphanage or a church project. It could be getting people to actually visit your physical church locations. It could be a number of things, but it might not be spiritually immediately. It could be as simple as driving traffic to a website where people can get resources to meet their needs, spiritual, physical, social, as much as campaigns need to be specific, they also need to be holistic in themselves. Holistic mean when I mean holistic, I mean comprehensive. You know that, okay, the need of this particular target audience is a social need. You cannot just go spiritual on them and be like, boom, hello, are you depressed? Follow this link to come to our church, or get locations to our church. You cannot do that. You can be like, hello, are you depressed? Okay, follow this link to speak to a counselor via Facebook Messenger, or follow this link to talk with someone, follow this link to share your prayer requests or testimonies. Something like that is a means by which this message can indeed go viral. So people have so many needs in the world today, and the Lord is depending upon us to meet people at the point of their needs. At the point of their needs. Also remember that as much as we are trying to do this social media evangelism, as much as we are trying to use this digital communication means, we should also not rule out the traditional communication means, which includes word of mouth. Get people talking. That's the basic. Someone said traditional means of communication is the microphone, and then digital communication is the amp. What digital means of communication is for is to get people talking about that particular thing that is pushed digitally. So may the Lord help us to indeed change and turn our generation around through this means. This group will be sending in a summary of everything we've been able to learn subsequently to this WhatsApp group, so that other people who are not very clarified on this oral presentation, so they are able to go through the summarized material, the abridged material themselves, and then learn themselves. Thank you. God bless you all. Let's say a short word of prayer. Oh Lord our God, we thank you for a time such as this. We pray and we ask that you help us be productive in sharing our faith with others, how wonderful you are to us, and bringing them into your fold, that your message will indeed reach forward and get to the ends of the earth, in Jesus' name.